Hey guys, welcome to the show. I hope you're all doing well. This is another tribute episode. Um, uh, man, Bob Saget passed away. Um, Over the past 6, 7 months, I've been getting really close with Bob. Um, if you guys follow my career, I opened up for Norm for a few years, and Norm was my comedy dad. And Norm actually introduced me to Saget. Sorry. Um, so I was close with him. When Norm passed, Bob was really there for me. He called and texted me, and he gave me advice as a comic and as a person. And I watched his comedy fundraiser show that he did once a year. Um, you know, got me in to watch that on the Zoom for free. And he really looked out for me as a comic. And so how it started was here's how I met Bob. Um, so I texted Norm, and Norm asked me, who do you got coming on the podcast? Because Norm listened to all the episodes. And with the pandemic, it was getting really hard to get interviews. And Saget was the first comic who was opening the Irvine Improv since, the reopening. And I said, well, I tried to get Saget, but his publicist never responds to me. So, and I didn't do it in a way where to have Norm text him for me, but it that's what happened. And then at first I thought Norm was just busting my balls or whatever, because he sent me his number and he's like, hey, I want you to call him right now. And I did, and it was actually Bob Saget. And he was just such a nice guy because he didn't know me, and Norm vouched for me, and he did my podcast over Zoom. Alan Lee unfortunately didn't make that one. It was just me and Bob, but I really connected with Bob, like truly connected. We had an amazing conversation, and after the interview, we exchanged numbers, and he said, call me, text me if you ever need anything. And then he did Oxnard, and I actually took him up on that advice. I emailed him, and I said, hey, look, I wanted to send you an email because I felt a call or a text would be not as professional, but I wanted to see if I could do Oxnard with you. And I sent him 5 minutes, a 5-minute set, and he loved it. And he said, sure, you could guest host on the Friday shows. And we were talking about working together more, but then my mom had health issues. She went to rehab for alcoholism, and my dad, he had this weird thing happen with his eye, so I had to cancel a lot of shows because I had to take care of my dad. And it was never point blank in the book that I would go on tour with him, but it was, it was a good contact, and I did open up for him for 2 shows. And he introduced me to Mary Lynn Rice Cup, and Mary did my podcast, I like to say, through Bob, because that's where I met her. And Saget was just a great guy. I have all these texts from him, and when he interviewed Ida Rodriguez just recently, I was like, Saget, she's my comedy mom. And yeah, it's just a bummer. Saget was such a great guy. And like I said, he was really there for me when Norm passed. He really helped me out a lot. And not just as a comic, but as a friend. You know, when you have a friend like Bob Saget, who, when I was growing up, was the biggest, sitcom actor with Full House and America's Funniest Videos. It's like you wouldn't expect this guy to be so nice and so compassionate and just so great. And yeah, it's very sad. And I, like I said, I only knew him for 7 months, 8 months, and I'm hurting, but there's people who've known him longer and have more of an actual relationship with him, and I just feel so bad for all those people. My heart goes out to Mike Young, who toured with him, at least for the last 7 years. When I interviewed Mike in 2015, he was on the road with him. So my heart goes out to him and Mary Lynn Rice Cup and Bob's wife and children and all the comedians. And not just the comedians, the actors and the production assistants, the writers, everyone. Bob treated everyone good. When we did Oxnard, he was very nice to my dad. My dad came to the show. This is before my dad's eye thing happened. And they just talked, and it was so good because, it was one of those things where my dad was actually happy. Like, I don't know if he was happy for me for opening up for Saget, or if he was just having a great conversation with a long lost friend. Like, that's how Bob treated people. Like, right when you first met him, he accepted you. Yeah. So I could like read all the text messages I had with Saget, but I feel I should play the one voicemail he gave me, because this is how I have it. This is how I realized he was just a beautiful man. I'm probably gonna choke up listening to it because what happened was Norm died, and I found out. The second I found out, I called Saget. Like, literally, my first call was Bob Saget, because I thought maybe it was a joke. I don't know. Maybe I thought, like all these celebrities faking deaths jokes, hoaxes, or whatever. And he called me back. And unfortunately, I didn't pick up, but he left me a voicemail. So I wanted to play that just to show you what kind of compassionate heart he had. And it's just a minute. And, he's sad too. So he really loved Norm too. And they were brothers, like brothers, they were very close. So let's see if I could get it to work. My phone today. Hey Keith, it's Bob. I probably won't be answering my phone today, but I hear in your voice
you loved him. And I'm not too functional, but I'm going to do what I do. And that's what you should do. Just try to feel the beauty that comes out of loving somebody like that you got to have in your life, a gift. And he thought the world of you. He adored you. So this gives you all the more reason to come up with more stuff as you move forward. But today is a day of loss and mourning. It's going to go on for a while, especially with how much you cared for him. And that's it. But I'll be seeing you. We'll do some work together and figure it out. But right now, I don't know. You're young. I don't know how many people you've lost. This is I know, hard. So take care of yourself, man. And I'll talk to you when I have ability. All right.
And I play that just to show people how amazing he was. He was very nice and a sweet guy. And comedy is less funny right now without Bob Saget. I was very lucky to interview him, to open for him, and to be his friend. Yeah. So, to all Bob's friends and families and fans, my heart goes out with you. He was a wonderful person, a great comic, and my friend Joe called me when I found out, and that just shows you how much he cared, how much people he touched. I mean, he touched Joe, who called me, and I'm getting a lot of calls right now and a lot of tweets and all that stuff, and I appreciate it, but the world is dark right now, and it just sucks because he was a very, very special man, and all my comedy brothers and sisters will agree. He didn't have a bad thing to say about anybody, and I remember I talked to him on the phone, and I apologized to him because Norm told me not to tell anyone about the cancer. And when I opened up for Saget asked me, like, is Norm all right? And I lied to him. And I apologized to Saget about that. I was like, look, I'm sorry. I should have told you. I regret not telling you, but I didn't. And Saget said, don't worry about it. I know why you did it. And like that's just a great guy right there. I don't know what else to say besides how great he was and how much he meant to me as a friend. And the past 7 months, have been rocky for me. With my issues going on, and Norm died in September. But those 7 months having Saget just call me and text me and give me high spirits and high hopes. It was one of the real treasures of it, the difficult time. And yeah. The thing about Bob is Bob's one of those comedians and people in general where they don't make you laugh, they make you smile. And I always thought that was the best kind of comics, the ones who actually made you smile, because just laughing is great, but after a conversation or a text with Saget, you're smiling all day. So that's how he touched me, and I'm sure that's how he touched everyone else. So to everyone who knew the great Bob Saget, my thoughts and prayers are with you. I'm hanging strong, and I'm going to take his advice that he gave me when Norm passed. I'm going to do what I do, and I'm going to make it one day at a time. So, all right, everyone. Thanks for listening. I love you all. I hope you guys all just hang in there. And, you know, Saget fans, you guys, my heart is with you. You guys, you know, it's, you guys had the best. And there was a motorcycle driving by. I'm sorry. But you guys, the whole world just lost somebody dear. And he was such a sweetheart. And my thoughts and prayers are with you, like truly. Because I know how special Bob Saget was. Because he was very special to me. So, all right. Bob, if you're listening to this in heaven, I love you and thank you for being my friend, for helping me. All right, guys, have a great week and take Bob's advice. Do what you do to smile. Love you guys. Bye.